Anyone with a passing interest in jazz or drums will know the name Billy Cobham, the explosive, dynamic, imposing drummer who rose to prominence in the 60s and 70s thanks to his phenomenal work with Miles Davis, the Mahavishnu Orchestra, and his own solo material. Let's take a look at why Cobham is one of the best drummers ever. Billy Cobham was born in Panama in 1944. A few years after his birth, his family relocated to New York City. In his early 20s, he was drafted and played percussion in the US Army Band. After his discharge, he joined Horace Silver's quintet, a huge endorsement of Cobham's ability from one of the prominent hard bop musicians of the time. The next big chapter in the story begins with Cobham joining the eminent Miles Davis by appearing on the landmark record Bitches Brew. Whilst playing with Davis's band and releasing some more albums, Cobham became acquainted with the prodigious English guitarist John McLaughlin. The two would later leave Davis's group to form the Mahavishnu Orchestra, one of the most important fusion groups to emerge from the 70s. Cobham's debut solo LP Spectrum was released in 1973 and reached number 1 on the Billboard Jazz Albums chart and 26 on the Top Albums chart, paving the way for Cobham's successful and lengthy solo career. From the 80s onwards, Cobham continued to play with big names including Jack Bruce of Cream, and, as you would have it, I just recently released a video on Cream's remarkable drummer Ginger Baker, which you can check out in the top right corner now. While doing some research in preparation for this video and watching various solos, clinics and interviews, I realised quite quickly that Billy Cobham has a much more intellectual and philosophical approach to drumming than you may initially think. In a lot of the videos he chooses to discuss things like the importance of feeling at ease physically and mentally to best express yourself on the kit. This encompasses how you're sat, how the kit is set up, the kind of stick you use, how you listen to bandmates, self-expression and confidence. In Cobham's eyes, having the right mindset of playing is more important than what you actually play. To give you an idea, he released an instructional video that's around an hour and 10 minutes long, and less than 5 minutes of that video is dedicated to what he plays. It's mostly about how he plays. This is the first facet I'd like to focus on, his overall philosophy when playing the drums.
The main thing that I want to do is to convey my ideas really strongly. I want to make sure that every thought that I have that it comes out of me is very, very definitely my own. It's that very few of the ideas are muddled in a gray area with I don't know, maybe I should try this, maybe I shouldn't. And if you do things like that, it comes out and it sounds like you're not sure. And when you're not sure of yourself, you're the worst kind of player. Music transcends all of that stuff about, well, maybe it won't work this way or that way. There's always a basic fundamental thing that you can get into with anybody if you really want to. And again, it has to do with what's happening up here. And it's a reflection through the instrument as to which way you're going to go with it.
Cobham's drumming philosophy can be summarized as the pursuit of balance between contributing to the music and listening to the music. Expression and communication of original musical ideas by the drummer counterbalanced by the importance of listening and reacting to the players around you with the intention of serving the greater sound.
Everyone in the band has to listen to each other. Everyone has to react to the signals that are presented from all of the instruments that are coming and the information that's coming through the band. If this is done properly, then it means that the band can work together as a team and we can find many, many ways to express ourselves as an organized entity in projecting the music that we want everyone to listen to.
Again, I haven't encountered a drummer that's put so much focus when he talks about drums on the mindset and theoretical approach to drumming than actual playing or technique, discussion of chops and grooves and so on. That said, let's see how this philosophy translates to his actual playing. Billy Cobham boasts an incredibly disciplined and versatile drumming technique and style which is rooted in taking basic concepts, mastering them and then pushing them to their limits. This clip gives a great idea of what I mean. Notice how comfortable he is moving between different bass patterns with both feet, how his left foot controls both the left bass drum and the hi-hat, or how he's using 2 sticks in each hand, enabling him to play 2 parts of a drum kit simultaneously. Oh, you know what else made Billy Cobham such a great drummer? The fact he's subscribed to this channel. Alright, he's probably not, but you definitely should so you don't miss out on any new drum or music content. Cobham didn't want to be able to do something just one way. He wanted to learn to do it a bunch of different ways because this would expand his skill set and create more opportunities for him on the kit.
Okay, the point of all of that, if you notice, my hands always change. And this is one of the points that I like to to work with in my playing that's very, very important to me. When I went to play the drum set, I felt uncomfortable just playing the drum set from this one position, the conventional way. So I thought, what would happen if I played this way? And then as I continued to play this way, I started to find myself looking at the idea of playing anyway.
It's for this reason that he uses the open hand technique while playing hi-hat snare grooves. The arm positioning just makes more sense ergonomically.
With the hi-hat set up in the way that it is set up for me, as opposed to the conventional right-handed player, I have greater access to the drums and all of the other instruments in this region.
An important point he raises in this video is to do with the application of what you learn. It's all well and good being able to play an extremely complex groove, but would you ever actually use it?
I've heard guys telling me, oh yeah, I can play 5 against 8, against 6, against 10, and it goes on like this. This limb is doing that. And then the next point for me is, gosh man, can I hear the music where you're playing where you have to do something like that? With a band, where there's a necessity, or a solo, where you can express yourself playing 5 with one foot against 6 in the other foot, against 7 with one hand, against 8 in the other hand. Why? If there is no reason, then it's not logical to do it.
Similarly, his soloing is based on taking simple concepts and elevating them to the highest level.
We play fundamentally 2 rudiments. One is called double, like a double stroke, or single stroke, duple, okay? So it's pa, 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 against da, 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 which are triplets. Fundamentally, it's all that is. No matter what the patterns may be, it could either be in a triple phrase or in a duple phrase. And so you break it down into those 2 sections. It's about being able to understand how to make the transition from double to triple. And to be able to use the grace notes that may enhance a triple or enhance a double.
This, in conjunction with some of the things he was discussing earlier, like the importance of expression while playing and listening to others, is what makes his solos so strong.
I'm singing much of what I play.
Yeah.
The concept is to sing. The feeling, the phrasing is within that. The tempo is this big square box that's called the framework. You stay inside the box. You play that pattern in your mind, and you play against that pattern in your mind. So you have to build the confidence to be able to sing that pattern and play against it.
This is a piece of advice I'd heard a while back, and I find it so useful when I play drums, which is to sing or hum the bass line or lead melody whilst you're playing. Instinctively, what you're playing will match up really nicely to the bass line or melody. On this thread, Cobham is known for often taking solos over a vamped phrase from a guitar, bass or keys and really engaging with it. You can hear it in his playing. One of my favourite examples is his solo on The Pleasant Pheasant. This track is one of many that was written and composed by Billy Cobham throughout his career. He's released around 40 solo albums with a lot of writing credits going to him. One track I wanted to focus on that I feel captures his style as a drummer is Stratus from Spectrum. The song is bookended by 2 open and very different solos with an extended section in the middle underpinned by a really groovy bass line. So it showcases 2 sides of Cobham's playing, the locked in pocket groove for the middle section and the incredible bombastic solo at the end. Here's the middle section. And here's the end solo. The final point I wanted to cover was Billy Cobham's drum kit. His hunger for innovation didn't just stop at technique, it extended to his equipment. Cobham definitely falls into the category of drummers that are known for having huge kits with numerous cymbals and toms, double bass drums and more. However, he does mention that he'll adapt his kit to the kind of music or project he's working on, which really highlights how much attention he gives to the equipment he uses and how he uses it.
Again, this is what I'm talking about. I want to be able to change how I play when I want to play a certain way. I want to be able to play from the right or from the left. I want to be open to play multi-directionally, 360 degrees if possible.
Instead of giving a summary roundup of Cobham as a drummer, I'm going to leave it to Terry Bozzio, who really nicely captures what made him such a great player.
I mean, your pocket is just stupid from the CTI days and all that stuff. It's just so beautiful. Then you can read, you can play any freaking style. You had the odd times, you had the big drum set, which was an innovation. You had, you know, the ability to play all those odd times and that Latin thing. You know, I mean, just everything you did was just beyond what anybody else did until that point. And I still do not see anybody coming up who has that kind of scope and that kind of power as what you've contributed.
Thanks so much again for tuning in. Please do subscribe so you don't miss out on any more drum and music content. If there are any other drummers you'd like me to cover, just drop them down in the comments below. Thank you.